You're watching Good Day Street Talk.
Joining me now is Alpha Demelash. She's the Chief Executive Officer of Rising Tide Capital. We also have Jay Savulich, who's the Director of the Community Business Academy for Rising Tide Capital, and two entrepreneurs, Beatrice Johnston and Bernard Hendricks. Welcome to all of you. Thank you so much for joining us. Why don't we start with you, Alpha, and the motivation behind the business and how many people you have coming into you now?
Sure. The motivation, as I've talked about a lot recently, is my mom. My mom was an entrepreneur. She worked a full-time job during the day and would sew at night and save and bring me to this country and offer me opportunities that I felt very strongly about giving back and doing the same thing for other entrepreneurs. And since we established the organization about 6 years ago, we've had over 280 entrepreneurs who've completed our programs, people like Beatrice and Bernard, who have really taken their ideas and propelled them to that next level. So it's been an exciting journey.
Now, Beatrice, your story is great. Tell me about your company, what it does.
My company is Brand Excitement, and what we do is we help small businesses, usually of 10 employees or less, to actually develop the materials that will help them to market and stand out against their competitors. So we come in and we help them to put together their suite of materials that can be printed. We help them to get an online presence so that people can find them and be able to help them to be profitable by spreading the word of what their services and products offer.
Now, I just mentioned, a lot of big companies. You were working for an industry, Wall Street, right?
Yes.
You have a background in marketing and brand development and advertising. What was the trigger to say, I want to start my own business, and how did you find Rising Tide Capital?
Well, part of it was I had been doing this on a grand scale for corporations for over 10 years, and I would have friends and referrals to come to me and say, I'm starting a business, or I've been involved in business, and I hear that you do this for a living. So part of it was being able to connect with people who really had that need, but there was no one to service them because, large corporations, large advertisers won't look at the small business and help them to develop the materials that they need to be able to compete just on a general scale. So they started coming to me, and I could fill that need. But I didn't know how to make it profitable, because when you do your passion, you almost want to do it for free for anyone that really has that need and appreciates it. So I needed Rising Tide to actually take me through the practical steps on what to do for the business and take it out of the book knowledge that you can read and that you even get in business school and make it very business oriented and very practical. This is what you need to do, this is what you need to look at, and really kind of get your hands into the finances and scale it down from several hundreds of thousands of dollars to several thousands of dollars for a small business or an entrepreneur.
Jay, you clarified this for me, actually, that unlike organizations that actually provide the funding, what you're doing is starting much earlier in the process, which is to say there are a lot of things you need to know just as an entrepreneur, but a lot of things that you need to do to be able to qualify. I mean, we all have heard lending is very tough these days. Getting a loan is very tough. So describe the Business Academy and what it is you do with them.
Well, it's 11 weeks, and these guys came together on a Saturday morning, 9 o'clock on the Saturday morning for 11 weeks to laugh because they know how hard it was.
That's commitment.
And we do business basics. The goal is to teach people how to set up a business that can be profitable. Because if you're going to go out and get a bank to give you money, the first thing the bank is going to want to see is whether or not your business can generate money to pay back the loan. And so that's really important.
That sounds important. I mean, profitability, right? It sounds like common sense, but as we've seen in the last couple of years, even the biggest and the brightest are not necessarily always going to be making money. Okay, Bernard, you have your own cleaning company.
Yes.
Okay, and did you have experience in the field prior to going through Rising Tide Capital?
With the cleaning, you don't need as much startup costs. You can start from home. The job that I work at now, I work in New Jersey City University College, and we do the floors, scrubbing and waxing the carpets, and I love doing it. So I went to Rising Tide Capital to start trying to figure out how to start the business up.
Part of our mission is to make sure that the people who come to us are on the right track, that it takes tremendous risks, especially when you don't have as many resources to devote to a business, and we want to make sure that they're committing those resources towards an idea that works. And there are a lot of people who come through the program who may have a dream or a vision that is different than what is practical or where an industry that they have an experience in. And we let them make that decision on their own. So when they go through through the experiences of taking the class and learning from someone like Jay, who's owned 6 different businesses, who knows what failure looks like, who knows what success looks like. And when he guides them through the process like that, they come to a decision on their own. They say, maybe I should be changing my idea to make it more viable.
And what are you looking for from the applicants? There's a lot of people right now who, we've read about these jobless benefits running out. I mean, some people have been unemployed for a year now, and are starting to realize they're going to have to call on their own resources. But what are you looking for from the applicants?
Well, these guys are a good example. It really helps if you have a skill or talent that you're bringing to a business idea. In Bernard's case, he wanted to do a grocery store, but it turned out he knew how to do floor, so that's a great place to start. And in the Community Business Academy, you don't have to know about business, but it's really helpful to work from your strength, the kinds of talents that you already have.
Okay, thank you all very much. Alpha, Jay, Beatrice, Bernard, good luck. We look forward to hearing good news from you and inspiring us. Great work, you guys. All right, next up, the organization that's showing young adults how to be well-suited for their corporate dream jobs, literally. More when Good Day Street Talk continues. Stay tuned.